What is up, everybody? We are back here in the office working on some estimates, going through some selections for a remodel that we're going to begin shortly. But it's been a couple weeks since I did a video, and I got a really cool question on the last video, which kind of prompted me to discuss this topic today, which is just a real basic concept for how to deal with anxiety in your life. Now, this can be any type of anxiety. Maybe it's an anxiety about, social situations, or it's anxiety about using the restroom in public, or anxiety about public speaking, or maybe you have OCD and you have anxiety around a certain topic with, obsessions and compulsions that go on during them. This concept is so basic that you can apply it to almost any situation in your life that brings you any sort of emotion that is negative or that we perceive as negative, and begin to build on that. And what that is training the brain that there's no danger in these situations. Sounds easy, a little more difficult to do. So let's say that you have social anxiety and you get invited to a party one night, and you really don't want to go. You want to go, but you're probably not going to go because you're so anxious about it that you can't even think about getting the steps done to get ready to go, let alone going. So you're frozen, you're froze up. The only way you're going to work through that and eventually have that feeling be less and less is if you go through with that thing anyway. Take that anxiety that you have inside of you and bring it with you. Decide to go to that event, however painful it may be. Go to the event, stay at the event, come home from the event, and show your brain that there was no danger in that situation. I was able to go out, I was able to socialize however much that was, and then I was able to make it back home safe and sound. Do that a number of times. So, let's say you get invited twice a month to go out. Go out twice a month. Then as that begins to get easier and easier for you, you're going to take it one step further, and you're going to voluntarily go out and do these things. So let's say, the non-voluntary, the mandatory stuff is the stuff that you're invited to. Now, maybe you're going to throw the get together, or you're just going to do an impromptu night out on the town, and you're going to go out to a couple of restaurants and hang out and just see who's there. You do that voluntarily, and that trains the brain even one step further that there's no danger here, because not only is he going to do it when he has to do it, but he's also going to do these things when he doesn't have to. So there must be no danger here. I should probably stop sending that danger signal. That's kind of the conversation that we're hoping that the brain is going to have. And you can apply that to any situation. Let's say you have anxiety about using the public restroom. What you're going to do is you're going to voluntarily, every place you go into, when you get there, you're going to voluntarily go into the restroom. Go into the restroom, set yourself up as if you're going to use the restroom, even if you don't have to. Stand there, hang out for a while. If something happens, great. If it doesn't, that's fine. We go back to our seat. We go back to doing what we're doing. And we are showing the brain that, hey, this is a situation that I'm okay with being in, because I don't even have to use the restroom, but I'm going to visit it while I'm there, to show the brain there's no danger in this situation. And that can be the same for, public speaking. That's a huge one. That's one that people that don't even typically have anxiety get anxiety over. And the only way to overcome that is to go do public speaking. Not only when it's required of you, but when it's a voluntary thing that you're going to seek out and do on your own. That kind of kicks the brain into one more gear that really shows it, wow, he's going to do these things whether or not he has to do them. So there must not be danger in these situations, and we're going to stop sending that signal. That is kind of the premise of what I've used to overcome OCD and anxiety. That has been my main focus, is to do these things anyway. So for OCD, let's say that there's something, a situation that triggers me, that brings on that spike of anxiety and that gets me obsessing and kind of thinking through everything. Go through those situations voluntarily has been the big one. So, when I was growing up, it was difficult for me to shut off a light switch one time. I'd have to do it a number of times until it felt right. And, I see a lot of people on the internet, or not a lot of people, but one person in particular talk about how, this is because people have too much to complain about, too much to worry about. That's very an ignorant point of view, because people with OCD and anxiety, they have the physiological response as if there's actual danger there. So let's say our brain is sending signals that if we don't turn this light switch off a number of times, this dangerous situation will play out. And although we know in our heads that this is super far-fetched, it's the physiological response that we get that keeps us stuck in that cycle. So instead of going through the ritual of turning the light switch off however many times it is, I will turn it off once. Let's say this is a situation where I'm leaving the house. I turn it off once. I have to do that. I'm leaving the house. And then I sit with that anxiety. I do nothing about it. I don't ruminate. I don't obsess. I don't do any rituals that make me feel better about the anxiety. I live with the anxiety. I allow it to come with me, and I show the brain that there's no danger there. Now, that was an example of doing it when you need to do it. Now, to take it one step further, I might walk over there, turn the light switch on, and then turn it off again, just to trigger that response of fight or flight within my body, and then sit with it and do nothing about it. That's a voluntary exposure to a stimulus that causes that reaction within our bodies. And we can overcomplicate it in the way that I just did, but it's so simple as the thing that brings you anxiety, do it anyway, and allow the brain to see over a numerous amount of times of you doing this situation that there's no danger in that situation. And over time, it will get better. So again, these are just my own experiences with OCD anxiety, how I'm dealing with them today. So this isn't doctor's advice. This isn't advice specifically for you and your situation. This is just how I've dealt with it over the course of 33 years of life. So I hope this helps somebody. Like always, like this video so other people can find it. Leave me a comment of some ways that you've overcome some anxieties within your life. And like always, hit that subscribe button. We're up there, 500 and something subscribers. When we get to 600 subscribers, I will then go out in my community and donate another $100. That will be $600 total donated since we started this channel to an organization within my community that I feel does good. We've donated $500 up till now. Let's get to 600 subscribers and we'll get out there and do some good. Thanks, y'all.